It's time for another Charlie Reads Twilight! Wait, what? This week, my challenge, submitted by this person, is to swap video blogs with my friend Alex Day. Alex does a series on YouTube where he reads this, which is a book that I'm sure you are all familiar with. But this week, I'm going to have a go at reading a bit of Twilight, starting where he left off. Chapter 16, Carlisle, sorry. I'm just going to call her Carly from now on, actually, I prefer that. Okay, so Stephanie Meyer has now referenced the fact that Carly is a man. I thought that she was a girl. Where are you going to start? The wagoner, Edward replied. The wagoner, Edward replied, placing one hand lightly on my shoulder every time he touched me. Even in the most casual way, my heart had an audible reaction. It was more embarrassing with Carly there. See, I thought when she said an audible reaction, she just meant audible in the terms of Bella could hear her own heartbeat, but apparently everybody can hear her heartbeat. That's quite scary. I mean, if I heard someone else's heartbeat in a room that I was in, I would say, holy crap, what is up with you? Please go to a doctor, that doesn't sound right. It's starting to dawn on me that I haven't joined this book in the middle of a nice action scene or something that might be vaguely interesting to read. No, I've joined the book at a Edward Cullen history lesson. London in the 1650s, Edward said. The London of my youth, Carly added, from a few feet behind us. A few feet! Okay, let's go back to the heart thing. He or she, Carly, is a few feet away from Bella and he can hear her heartbeat. There is something wrong with Bella. Okay, so this isn't an Edward Cullen history lesson, this is a Carly history lesson. I mean, even as someone who hasn't read Twilight, I know who Edward Cullen is, and I wouldn't mind hearing his backstory. Carly, however, I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about her. Carly's backstory, she's a vampire, obviously. He studied by night, planned by day. He swam to France, and... He swam to France? Said Bella. I don't get why she's so impressed by the fact that he can swim to France. I mean, if David Williams can swim the channel, I'm sure a vampire could do it quite easily. People swim the channel all the time, Bella, he reminded me patiently. Apparently me and Edward Cullen are on the same page there then. I won't interrupt again, I promise, said Bella. He chuckled darkly. He chuckled darkly, so if this is chuckling... How do you chuckle darkly? He chuckled darkly and then finished his sentence. Because technically we don't need to breathe. Technically you don't need to breathe. Well, Edward Cullen, you are a monster. I've got 8 pages of this left. Ugh. So obviously, when Edward Cullen says, I don't need to breathe, Bella goes, oh my god, you don't need to breathe, that's so mental. And then Edward says, I know at some point, something I tell you, or something you see is going to be too much, and then you'll run away from me, screaming as you go. He knows this is going to happen, and now she knows this is going to happen, at some point. And yet... Bella still says that she isn't running anywhere. Maybe that's true love in a world of fiction, but to me that's just stupid. Okay, we've got a bit of Edward Cullen history here. Getting a bit more excited now. I wasn't really sold on his life of abstinence. I resented him for curbing my appetite, so I went off on my own for a while. And he started killing people. That's not written in there, but it's implied. Really? Said Bella. I was intrigued rather than frightened. Perhaps I should have been. Yes, perhaps. That doesn't repulse you? No? Well, why not? I guess it sounds reasonable. Okay, they're both mental. Well, maybe not Edward. I mean, he's a vampire. I guess he can't really help it. But Bella is insane. I think I've come to the realisation that these two do deserve each other. She's with a vampire and she's crazy, so it makes sense. And then a vampire walks in and he's like, do you want to go play baseball in a storm? And then the chapter ends. So that's the experience I've had of Twilight. I'm going to put this book down now and I'm never going to pick it up ever again. As part of me swapping video blogs with Alex this week, Alex is going to do a Challenge Alex, which you can see by clicking just there. That is the end. That is the end. That is the end.
You've just had the almost imponderable joy of watching Charlie Is So Cool Like, which makes you like cool.